Good evening, November Foxtrot. Hello, Lance.
Hello.
Hi, James. Hi, Les. Hi, Kenny. Hi, Fresh Meat. Hi, Defiant. How are you all doing?
Hi, Defiant.
Hi, Defiant. Hi, Matthew
Good
McCarthy.
evening,
Hi, Nick. Hi, Dan. Hi, Pony Tony. Matthew. Good evening. Good evening. Hi, Les. Oh, how you been?
Camera works, chaps. I'm all right. As soon as my old webcam decided to take a massive nose dive into the world of I don't want to fucking work anymore.
Andy's here.
He's here.
I'm here.
Andy's here. Hello.
Pricking Wednesday.
So this can. Don't buy one of these cameras. If you're gonna get a webcam, don't buy one of them because they're shit.
No, I was hoping to set my Nippon up one because I thought tomorrow was Wednesday, which is why I'm a few minutes late. So I do apologise to everyone.
Lance still has a beard. This is disappointing. Well, you know,
I know.
them all, mate.
Unfortunately, James, we weren't able to make the 100. The 1,000.
1,000.
Sorry.
Yeah, we should have done it to 100.
There's always next time.
Even Harry.
Hi, Harry.
Winner's room tonight.
Hi, Philip. Good morning, lads. Philip, how was your MilSim? How did it go?
Yes, your MilSim.
Ozsim.
Much like the perennial hangover from New Year's Eve, episode 101 is because we only had a couple days ago, really, since we did the last one. I think we're all slightly unorganised today. Lance has got some new kit he's testing out. Andy was vaguely on time.
I just forgot what day it was.
I've got my new phone today. I've got my new 14 today. So I've put my 12 as my web camera. And I had to download a couple of apps and download some software for the computer.
I think it's definitely clearer.
So far, it's a very expensive way of doing it. I am going to get a web camera, but in the meantime, it it does the job because my other camera's in bits now because I just smashed it against the wall. So, which is
make a good
what
prop.
Adam just said about. Arrived to Lance yeeting a webcam. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Hi, Rage.
I've just ordered a new light, a new microphone because that's not doing. Everyone keeps saying that I'm really quiet, so fuck you all.
Too loud, Andy. Too loud. Shush.
And I want to use my Nikon camera as my.
But to be fair, that does look uber clear.
Sorry, keep doing that. I was going to say you look pretty clear. I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's because I've put my painting light on. I can't see you guys.
He's like that.
I'm like that.
What?
Just pure light in my face. So I'm hoping one of the little rings will not blind me for the show.
Something I've been looking at is I found a little soundboard thing. So it's got like a 15 set of buttons on it, which you can program and fully customize. So we could have all sorts of weird and wonderful things happening throughout the show.
Oh, if that works, I could do that as well. We could, and then that would make it 30. And then if Lance does it, that'd be 45. See, look, my maths is good.
Quick maths, my guy.
Lance, you've gone green.
No, I haven't.
There we go, he's back in the woods. James C was just asking when will Lance bring back the forest background.
I'm back. It's not quite. I was going to go
out.
wintry, but it's a bit early, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's not quite snowy yet.
No.
Big shout out to James and Wayne though for doing their plate carriers.
Yes.
Nice one,
Big shout
chaps.
out there.
We love that.
Really appreciate that.
Fun.
Lance, what's that at the bottom of your screen? I told you.
Oh, it's a watermark because I was a tight arse, Les, and I didn't want to pay for the full package of software for this camera. I wanted to try it first, so I got the light version, which comes with the watermark. So yeah, don't try and press it or anything. It doesn't play like me doing a little jig across the screen or anything. What's not working? Stupid button. Copy button.
But that would be a funny video to have queued up and ready to go.
So yeah, that's what that is. Does the watermark count as a sponsor?
So who's?
Good point.
Just quickly, who's into cameras?
No, I was until I smashed it against the wall down there.
Does anyone know if a Nikon DX?
X300.
I don't know. It just says DX on it.
I only know the SX.
Let me know if there's ways of using that as a camera. Right.
If it's got micro USB and digital screen, you should be able to.
It's got a digital screen.
You should be able to plug it in.
Charlotte won it a few years ago, and we've never used it. It's just sat there. I think we've
battery's
taken about
pretty
two photos on it.
That's the clunk clunk.
Yeah,
That's it,
and that was it works. That's brilliant.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Brewer, no. Splatfuck knows all about it, mate.
Nikon DX. Yep, that's what's written on it.
DX. With Halloween out of the way.
I'll have to do that.
Okay.
It's a camera. That's all right now.
Mike Brewer very helpfully. Not a clue, mate.
Cheers, bro. Always count on you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Dan says, Mike, what's behind your camo net? That's a hole in said camo net. That's nothing behind it. That's just I've broken my camo net over the time. Behind it is pretty much the rest of my study. So
it's a mess.
Yeah, well, he calls it a study. It's just a fucking. It looks like my downstairs cupboard, really. But just a bigger
hence the
scale.
camo net. Pony Tony says, doesn't Elgato do a kit so you can use DSLRs as webcams?
Yes, I'm using the. I'm using the.
Sorry, that was.
That was. I'm using the Epoch Cam app on my phone, and then the Elgato software on the laptop. It seems to be running well.
It's funny enough, the Elgato Stream Deck was the one I was looking at buying as well. So
Elgato's
making loads of money out of us.
Yeah.
Well, not out of me at the moment because I just got the.
I haven't bought the deck either yet.
I've bought their mic, their big drop mic.
Do that again.
Someone meme that, please.
Yeah. On. Where are you? Where's our memer?
Where's our memer?
Where's our resident memer when we need him?
Harry says, with that Nikon, won't the lens make you look massively close up if used as a webcam?
Well, yeah. I don't know. I could just sit further back.
We just don't know.
Like that.
Yeah, like at the end of your hallway.
Yeah.
Kenny Rebel says, murder bags, lots of them behind the net.
Absolutely.
There are a few.
Dan says, do you poke things through the hole? Not regularly. It's just basically my camo net. This is a weird conversation, but the camo net is actually based on two different camo nets sewn together.
What's the access port for there? What's going on there?
It's just it used to have. It's got little bits of cordage just holding the bits of net together. For some reason, it's made of two.
Suspect low level hole there for access.
It's the world's most militarized glory hole. How's that?
Yeah.
Is that what you're after?
Camo glory holes.
It's a deviant's nest.
Deviant's nest.
Oh God. Harry says, with Halloween out of the way, I can crack on with the plate carrier. Already had the materials, so might as well use it. We'll whack them in the post to you.
Amazing, mate. Incredible. Thank you for that, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm
very much.
If anyone can help with this, I'm still trying to make my bricolage U back. I was hoping to have it ready for the 100th episode, but most of the people who I was going to contact about making custom U-backs, I think, are based in the Ukraine, and have subsequently not been contactable. So if anyone knows anyone who could make a custom U-back, because I'm trying to make the bricolage one. I was hoping to be like, yeah, check it out, it's bricolage.
You could just go down to the range and just buy some of the fabric wallpaper and just stick it to yourself.
Yeah,
I could do, but I wanted to actually have like a proper fabric bricolage U-back.
What about one of those the car mats you used to get as a kid, like the little rug? Can't you just? It's still got roads and houses.
Again, I want an actual top, not just stick shit to myself and go, look, I've done it.
Material, it's a material like rug. You roll it out, it's got roads and zebra crossings and fucking farmyard and shit on it.
That would be funny. That would be funny. I don't feel it would be very flexible because aren't they like rubberized mats?
No, it's
like...
material.
They're neoprene, so you'd sweat.
Do you get hot in your plate carrier? No, but I do it in my neoprene U-back.
When you're off stag and you're just chilling at the fob, you could lay down on your back and then we could bring a little pack of micro machines in. And...
No one will know. It's urban camo.
Yeah, look, this is just a rug.
I'm a road.
That's it. Sorted.
Oh dear.
So you can buy a brick flag for some reason.
I thought you meant you can buy a brick
for 15 quid.
There you go. Brick
All
flags.
you need is someone buy another U-Bax and just sew it onto the arms. There you go. Stop making life difficult.
Let's do some news because I don't feel that this is particularly helpful.
News. That is news.
I take my gun and I go pew 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 pew.
News. This is Pew's News, where we talk about all of the news from the previous
We've
week.
become so wanky, haven't we?
I know.
I love it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it was especially professional and wanky with the comment of, "This is so wanky."
Yeah. I love it.
Has anyone got any news from the week?
I bought some stuff.
I'll let you go first then, because I bought some stuff as well.
I've got a Dutch Army issue bandana.
Oh.
Comes with Velcro. The Velcro around your face. Like so. Well, it's quite handy. Quite like that. And I got some new trousers. However,
Trousers.
with the old knee pad jobbies and all that. I've got the Gen 2 Elites. However, they're just the standard ones turned up. So I'm in a dispute with Wang in Hong Kong at the moment over advertising something that's got a photograph of the Gen 2s with all like the flexible material around the knee and the seat area of the trouser. He's like, no, they're just for reference. I'm like, well, you can't reference a photograph and not fucking sell the item that's in the picture. That'd be like referencing a Ferrari.
I'm going to sell you this house, but not that house. That's just a reference of what a house is.
Get this 5-bed house for 250 quid and you get a shed turn up. You think, hang on a minute. That was the
But it's
deal.
got 5 beds in it for dolls.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I'm in a dispute with him in a minute. But don't get me wrong, they're great trousers, but I've already got a pair of these in a bigger size. I need to get a smaller size. Result. So I've got these in a 34. So I'm a bit pissed off about that. But they're good enough, you know what I mean? If it all
I'll tell you
comes
what,
to-
one company.
If it
that
starts
I
a
use-
war, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah. One company that I would recommend for trousers is what's their name? UK Tactical Trousers, I think they are, or Tactical Kit. It's not the one that you think it is, not the one with the blue bandana. They're based in China, but I swear to God, they're just cry seconds. It's those trousers that I run, and I've literally ran them for nearly a year now, and they're absolutely phenomenal, and they're a quarter of the price. But all the stitching and everything seems to be the same. We've compared them to a mate's that got a set of cry.
Fair play. Nice, yeah.
So, yeah,
I've just got these. I've purely got these Viper ones because the last pair I've got, which Les is actually purchasing off me, are Viper ones, and they've been fucking mustard. Absolutely blinded. And I've been through all sorts of crap with
I
them.
was going to say, because I mean, Viper Kit it has a mixed review on it, doesn't it? I mean, I know I've got some Viper stuff that's both really good and some other Viper stuff that's really bad. So presumably the trousers are obviously worth
I've
buying.
had no issues at all with my Viper trousers. None at all. None whatsoever. They've been absolutely blinding. Knee pads have stayed in place, and they fit snug as well. I mean, they're a bit. Actually, to be fair, they're a bit of a battle to get them in there because they come separate. So to install them, but once they're in there, they're nice and snug. They ain't going to shift on you. So yeah, happy with that. Like I said, if I don't get the ones I wanted, I'm happy with them. They fit nice now. They're lovely.
Tactical World Store UK. Is the one.
Tactical World Store UK.
That's got all of the words in it.
Yeah,
Airsoft,
they're
tactical,
actually-
MilSim gun.
World Series of baseball, and it's only American baseball teams in it.
I found
World
them on a
Series.
random search, and I'll tell you what,
Nice
I'm
one.
well impressed with the jeans, with the trousers that I got. Gen 3. Proper impressed with them. So highly recommend them.
Nice.
Cool.
Anything from you, Mr. Michael?
No, I've not really bought anything. The only thing I have bought is my birthday present for my brother, which I don't want to talk about on the stream yet because I haven't given it to him.
I'll do that.
So I will talk about that once said present is no longer a surprise.
Oh, can we have a fanfare? Actually, I've got some news aside from Airsoft, but I'd like to share it with the team. So my daughter got sworn in tonight at Scouts, so she's an official Scout now. The video.
Oh, congratulations! We don't have a clapping
Well done.
soundtrack.
No, we need a clappy.
Yeah, by the campfire with the flag, holding the flag and saying all that. And she was the first Scout in her troop to be sworn in and like pledge allegiance to the King.
Oh.
Is the King. So
King.
yes, that's quite a moment. Yeah. So yeah, very proud of my daughter.
That's
So, yeah,
good.
well done.
Yeah,
There.
cool.
All good.
I bought Diddy Hammock whoopee slings, which I've just sent in the group chats.
Sounds like a child's toy.
What?
Did you hear like Wookie slings?
Whoopee slings.
Oh, whoopee slings.
Whoopee. Whoopee, as
Whoopee.
in WHOOPIE. Whoopee slings.
Hang on, I'm just finding it, Andy. It's not quite so quick to get.
No, it's all right. Absolutely amazing.
There you go.
For
What is
16,
this?
you thread them through instead of your carabiner on the end of your hammock, and literally they're adjustable. So if you're a little bit too long or a little bit too short, you can pull them in on themselves.
I still don't know what it is. I own a hammock. I'm looking at the picture. I still have no idea what that is.
I'll show you. I'll send it. Look, there you go. Can you do videos of videos? There you go.
Maybe.
I've sent.
Hang on.
So this was wrapped around one of the support beams of my house for this video. Oh, is it gonna work?
So that's just to support the whoopee underneath the main hammock.
Yeah,
that doesn't look strong enough for a hammock. That looks like a bit of
holding the
rope.
hammock up, you tin hat. It's for the whoopee to go underneath it. The winter blanket.
No. That's for you.
No, that's holding the whole hammock. Look.
That's holding the whole hammock up.
No.
Yeah,
I wouldn't get in that.
Strong.
So what? Right. Okay.
250 kg rated, that is.
So what? Sorry, what's the benefit of this?
So you can adjust. So instead of that, literally loops around your tree, but it gives you an extra adjustment.
But don't you have the extra adjustment in that strap there?
Yeah, but what happens if you've only got trees too far away or too close? You actually get another bit of adjustment.
And it saves you having to undo the carabiner and put it around the tree. You can just literally cinch it in and out.
Literally, just job done.
I'll be interested to see that.
And where you have your adjustment, it automatically dangs down and it gives you a rain drip as well.
I'm not convinced. I would like to see yours before I go ahead and purchase some of these. That to me looks like a shoelace that you're attaching to your hammock.
Yeah, I've already sat in it twice.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of it next week.
Yeah, we'll go for it. No, I'd love to see it in action. That'd be cool. Harry Badger bought the Yugo cook set following Lance's show and tell.
Yes, mate.
Oh.
Absolutely. The old Yugoslavian cook set. Yeah, good bit of kit that. Not that I've used it yet, but I've seen lots of bushcraft videos on it.
Rage says, I bought a Helican Tex Woodsman smock. You should have a look at them, Lance. Ideal for bushcraft as they are spark and ember resistant.
Helican Tex Woodsman smock.
I have to admit, I do like Helican Tex stuff.
Mm.
And I've gone really blurry for some reason as well, so that's great.
Put your finger towards the screen. I'll come back. Okay.
Ah, excellent. I fingered myself. Fresh Meat said I bought my...
Didn't have to say that at all. just cracked on.
Fresh Meat says Fresh Meat says I brought my first Trangia mess tin.
Oh, the little foldy. Yes, nice, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
sorry. Dan said, Rage, are the smocks friction proof for when your beards rub together?
when me and Rage dock at the chin.
Dock at the chin.
Beard docking. That's
like a thatched cottage. Not cottaging. None of that.
Yeah, you go cook set. Yeah, we talked about that one. James C says, I'm so glad I mentioned the bricolage camera all those episodes ago.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely, mate.
You've stirred a fire in him, I think.
I think it's an excellent thing. I think we've got to work that through. Cool. Well, should we talk about SEO?
Oh, hang on. Rich Serrant Sport bought the first nods. British Army L4A2.
Oh, blimey.
Oh,
very nice.
Look at that. Smashing the cash.
I'm looking this up quickly.
I was going to say, I don't know what I'm having to just quickly Google as well.
I don't, but I'm going to let Mike Google it and put it up on the screen to show everyone.
Oh, shit.
I think it's that one.
What ones? I'm looking at it now. L4A2 nods. Oh, they've disappeared now. Images.
So-
Let's go to images.
I found a picture.
Retro
It's
nods.
coming.
Where do you get them from?
Oh,
Naughty. Oh, I like them in green.
that's proper on the
I
balcony
googled
sort
it,
of
and then
stuff,
all I got was a Bren gun come up when I googled L4A2 nods. So that's the L4A3 as a Bren gun. Don't get that wrong at the stores, will you?
innit? Yeah.
Clapping a Bren gun to your fucking lid.
Oh, I've got this really heavy helmet.
Imagine the counterweights on the back of a lid to keep a Bren gun upright.
Yeah.
Just like,
Or failing that, you go out to combat with a pair of nods as your weapon.
Just start launching them.
I know,
at people.
the mag doesn't go in
I'm the
top
support
of
gunner.
this. This is shit.
Rich says Gulf War era single tube, but with 2 eyepieces. That was cool.
Fair play, mate.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah. Ooh. I have to look them up. I've never even heard of them before. Is that Gulf War 1 or 2?
Evening, John.
Even
I probably would have said
Gulf
2,
War.
wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, it looks. I don't know. Just looking at it, it does look quite 90s-ish esque sort of styling. Sorry, we're just a really poor podcast for those listening. We're just
Yeah,
staring.
everyone's just like, just
They do look very, very cool. Sorry about that.
yeah.
If
That's
anyone's
bring it
interested,
back now.
Google British Army L4A2, not the L4A3.
Yeah, don't Google Bren gun because you can't put that on your head. We could, but it'd be rubbish.
Should we talk SEO?
Let's talk SEO. Yes, what a weekend. Second.
Do you want to take the lead?
No, you can because I've been to one before. So from
And
your
So have we,
it's-
but we've already discussed this before, so we were waiting
but
to
I
discuss it
haven't-
in more
I haven't
detail.
been-
So you
yeah,
were.
I wasn't there, so off you go, Mike. You do it.
Why am I
Me and
just-
Come on, Mike.
All right, so a few weekends ago, we went to the SEO invitational event,
Lucky
and
bastards.
it was really good. Really enjoyed it. It was like a proper back to Bergen MilSim. So we tabbed in, not particularly far, but we did, walk from the car with the Bergens on, set up camp, had a MilSim.
You're really so.
Adam
Did you get?
going well.
So basically, so a lot
Did
of the
you
guys.
do it the same as last time?
Thank
So
you, chip in.
You set
So a
up
lot of the guys
booking-
are a lot of the guys arrived Friday night that were in our section, and we did it the same as we did last time. Was obviously to keep the two factions apart, so obviously nobody saw each other. But one might have caught the tail end of us walking off as some of the guys arrived from the Op 4 team in the morning, but nothing that sort of like to compromise anything. So a few of the guys arrived Friday. Obviously, I was working, so I arrived there early hours of Saturday morning before sunrise, and before anyone was awake. Got me head down for a couple of hours, kitted up, pushed out into the AO. I think we probably did about a 15 minute-ish sort of patrol with all the kit on. Got to our location for our sort of like harbour area, if you like. Dumped the kit off. Sorted out a recce. So I've got a recce patrol out on the ground. Just to try and sort of PID targets. What we were doing was like basically it's a SEAL team sort of going in behind lines in like a cartel held area, but with a bit of civ pop action involved. So we had to get sort of eyes on the civ pop. Our sort of cover story was bringing in aid packages to this village. So we had to arrange like a meeting with the village sort of elder, if you like, arrange to get this aid package in there, which happened to have a tracking device in it, which was a nice little added.
That was a cool
extra
feature, by the way. So
Yeah, we had that
it
in
was
there,
like an
so-
air tag, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that was something that would come into play later on. So the idea of us was to deliver this package to the village in the sort of hope that the cartel would come in and get a bit bully, pushy, and sort of like take the package for themselves back to their harbour area or their fob or their stronghold, wherever it might be in the area we were gaming in. And then from there we'd get a location in of where it went. Because if we're tracking it and it's still in the village, as soon as it starts moving off, we know that someone's got it that shouldn't have it. So that gave us intel on a target location, and then obviously going in from there, you're going out on patrols, putting in recce's, looking for patterns of life, how many combatants they've got, bits and bobs like that, getting into contact, withdrawing from it. It was a little bit slow to start with regarding from our point of view, because I think obviously none of us have been out for a while, none of us been together gaming for a while, so it was quite exciting to get into a contact, and we should have broken contacts quicker than what we did, but it was sort of like a sustained contact for a while. But then we sort of, once we got into the role a bit more, it sort of just developed then, just like naturally developed into like sort of like getting into a contact, moving quietly, breaking contacts quickly. The medic rules for us, I think, because we didn't change them from the last event, because we had more guys this time, that was a bit of a detriment to the Op 4 team, that we could, our first initial bandage, we could medic ourselves. Because obviously once you hit out, you could just whack a tourniquet on your back in the fight. So it was like, it was quite hard work for them because they had a couple of less guys than what we did. So I think next time we'll change that, depending on the size of the teams that we've got, whether you've got a designated medic or whether you can tourniquet yourself the first one on. So
I think personally that was probably something I didn't enjoy, was the people self-bandaging. I get obviously when you got an event with small numbers, but it was difficult because you have someone sort of. I mean, there was one particular instance, someone snuck up behind our sort of fob at one point and took a load of us out, but we managed to take him down. But then, just through the aspect of a lot of us haven't played with that rule before, we then went back to looking in our designated positions. He then goes, "Oh, bandage up, job done," and then carried on shooting again. I didn't like that as much personally.
I mean, it did make you keep your head on the swivel, and it did sort of prolong the firefights, which was quite cool in a way. But like that only works if you do have slightly smaller numbers than what we had. We had larger numbers than what we did before. So, you had like I think there was 10 or 12 of us against sort of 8 on Terry's team. So yeah, it did make for a longer firefight, which otherwise would have been broken quicker. So yeah, it's things to obviously these are the things that we're sort of bringing into to play. And obviously we had the whole water source thing around the event, where you've got natural waterways in the area. Again, there was like a jerry can of fresh, clean drinking water located
I love that side of it.
in that area of that water source. It won't be sort of like 100 meters away from it. It will be, if you go to that water source at a specific point, you will find a jerry can there of water that you can top up your water bottles from, or your camelbacks from, which was cool. I love that. I've done that a couple of times. And it's always good to sort of, when you're patrolling, think, anyone need to refill because we're coming up on a waterway. Getting all around the fence, get a couple of guys filling up water bottles and that for people. That's cool. That's a nice little added bonus to it. So yeah, that always works well. So we'll continue to do that. Harbour area wise, it was cool. Everyone was real low profile. It was all bashers on the floor. Quite minimal kit for the most part. I think I could still reduce my kit down. I seem to bring too much food, but not like meals, but like just snacks. I think I get to the point where I'm packing my food up for them, and I regiment what I'm taking, and I go, I'll just chuck a fruit explosion in there, I'll chuck a cereal bar in there, and I think, and I ended up coming back with so much. I mean, I probably ate one main meal and like half a dozen snacks, loads of water, a couple of sweeties, sort of thing. So yeah, I can certainly scale that back from that point of view, and that'll save on the old weight as well. But other than that, I mean, a lot of the kit I took, I sort of used, or it was essential kit that would be needed. You know what I mean? There was no sort of like silly bollocks, because I didn't take any pillows or anything like that. It was literally my sleep system would be my bivvy bag, my roll mat, which is my Aunt Fantry's one, my snug pack, and my Mylar sheet that go inside the bivvy as well, and that all just went inside the bivvy bag. So lovely and comfy, really nice. Underneath me basher, and I tried with my basher. I tried my I bought some comms cord from Dragon Supplies. And it's basically it's comms cord for when you were in stag for like to the next position, and I jungle knotted it because it's a lot smaller than paracord. It's really, really sort of like shoelace thin, but it's fucking super strong. And I tried that, and that's wicked, because what you can do is you can bunch it all up into like if you do like an 8 meter length of it for your jungle knot, you can wind it around your hand, pull it off your hand, and it'll poke through the eyelet of the basher. So rather than having to strap it, you can just poke the whole lot through there, and it stays in place. So that was quite cool.
Oh, right, yeah.
So yeah, use that. So I was happy with the setup, with the sleeping arrangements, the stuff, stagging on. Did we get bumped in the night, or was it early hours of the morning?
Early morning.
No, we did get bumped, didn't we? Because when we come back off that night patrol.
It was after, remember? Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning though.
Right, okay, yeah, that was good. So yeah,
because I was on stag from 9 till 12.
We went out. There was a couple of us with nods. I think myself and Kenny had thermal. Kenny absolutely destroyed it. Kenny from Empire Airsoft with his thermal sniper, which is something to behold when you're at an event, because that's rarely sort of seen. So yeah, he sort of gave the Op 4 a run for their money with that, which was good. And our light discipline, our noise discipline on the patrols again was bang on. Even Terry said afterwards, he said how, I mean, and likewise for Terry and his guys, because there must have been times where we couldn't have been more than 25, 30 meters apart from each other, and we didn't even know each other was there, and we were almost like managed to patrol past each other, like moving like uber quiet, uber slowly, which was cool. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
What was the ground like this time? Because last time it was like walking on sandpaper. On
it was wetter.
Glass,
it was wetter. It's still quite noisy. It was slightly wetter. There was a chance of getting some. We had little splashes of rain here and there, but for the most part, it was good. It was good. It was comfortable. Obviously, wasn't as hot. That was a bonus because the last one was fucking scorching over there.
Yeah.
So this was it was nice to do like a really hot event than this one, which was a lot cooler but slightly wetter. It'd be nice to get a cold one in over there, to get a cold event in over there. Be a bit more extreme with the kit and that. You know,
it wasn't that cold though. To be fair, I mean, in terms of like the temperature and stuff, it's obviously been very mild.
I think I felt colder. I felt colder the following morning purely because of tiredness. When I first got out of the DOS bag, you know, when you get, you're like, oh, but I chucked the softy jacket on for 5 minutes and I was good to go. Then got a brew on, and we were good to go. But yeah, I mean, it was quality. It was a wicked event. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good storyline, and there was no no dramas or troubles or anything like that because obviously it's an invite only event. You know who you're getting, yeah, so definitely. There was literally no spats or this that. Always not. There's none of the hit taking stuff or anything like that going on. There might have been a couple of I don't think he took his hit, but it wasn't sort of made a big issue of. It could have just been, benefit of the doubt. Maybe perhaps he didn't feel it, this, that, and the other. So I certainly didn't see anything like that. Any guys that I engaged, everyone took their hits. So kudos to them. Yeah, overall, certainly a spot on event. So yeah, good big shout out to Terry at SEO for that one, and for good reports from all the guys. There's ever the Reaper boys that were there. Kenny thoroughly enjoyed it. 'Cause it's one of Kenny's first ones where he's in a Bergen and sort of living out of a Bergen. So he thoroughly enjoyed that. It was good, yeah. By yourself, Mike, highlights?
I liked it. So, I mean, personally, this is just my own personal review. I wouldn't say it's in my top 5 of MilSims. I enjoyed it, and I do like the camping side of bits and pieces and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was okay, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't bad in any way, but it wasn't necessarily anything that jumped out of me to be particularly different as an event. The water's always cool, and I did find my drainage use, being a drainage engineer, came into function when there was a package located in one of the culverts. And I think we had a picture.
Oh,
yes. I was like, I know exactly where that is because I'd spotted all the drainage from walking around the site.
Yeah, they play.
Yeah, I mean, from a MilSim perspective, it was obviously good from the meeting the locals and bits and pieces like that. I mean, with any small number event, you obviously get a limited interaction because, if you're only playing up against 15 other players, say, I mean, I think it was less at this event in particular, but if you're only playing up against 10, 15, you get to know who they are. So obviously, there's kind of limited options for that shoot, no shoot scenario, which is the thing I always like about a MilSim is, especially if you're sort of a Blue 4 role, NATO, some sort of military force like that. You can't just blap everyone that comes across you. The whole premise is that you're trying to role play and do that kind of interaction. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good stuff as well. There was obviously lots of pyrotechnics that were used. There was the classic not knowing who the enemy was. That was really good. So you actually had to provide some intel on the Overwatch. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I say it's just, I guess for me, there was nothing that really stood out fantastically. But that's, I would do it again. So it's definitely not a detriment.
I think we definitely need to increase the numbers slightly. But then again, it depends on the sort of type of game that you're trying to achieve. I mean, especially if you're trying to get like a Civ Pop cartel-y sort of village-y type thing going on, you do have to have the numbers for it. Just like you say, for the immersion, and to be able to sort of have people switching between roles by being able to like removing like a headdress or changing a jacket to be a civvy and then sort of doing something else. And it does make you sort of questioning how many people they've got and things like that. So I think that from that respect, it would make that event we done better by having a few additional. But then obviously, unfortunately, Terry, bless him, I think he had 6 or 7 guys literally bail in like the last 48 hours leading up to the op. So, which made him really, really happy. To put it lightly.
I mean, that's never ideal.
No. And that's the trouble when you get private invite events. You know, like me and Terry put a lot of work into them, and then obviously it's not like you're paying X amount of money to secure your place. So it's a bit like, oh well, I ain't paid nothing yet, so fuck it, I can't be asked. Whoever doesn't look that good, I'm not going to go. But it's sort of like it really screws us up in a way. So we just have to be mindful next time of who.
One thing I did learn: tinted eye pro is fuck all use at night. So I had the by tinted, I don't mean obviously dark eye pro like the shaded ones, whatever like that, like the sun shield style. I'm talking orange tinted. So these were the Tiger Eye Edge Tactical sharp edge glasses I was wearing, and I just couldn't see anything at night at all. My night vision is not the best at the best of times anyway, but there was a fair few times that Wayne, bless him, was basically just acting as helping me around the site. I was completely blind.
Just like some old man.
Yeah.
Come on, come with us, Mike.
I mean, I definitely need to look at investing in night vision at some point, because my night game is one of the things I don't really enjoy at the moment. I don't have a problem going out at night, but if you can't see, you know, I'm more worried about breaking my leg and then ruining the next 6 months of my life while my leg's healing, than the minimal amount of enjoyment that I get from trying to hit someone that I can't see in the dark, that I can't see, walking around hitting trees and all of that. So yeah, I would definitely make sure that if you're going to be at a night game, take some clear eye pro if you can. And completely clear, not yellow tinted or anything like that.
Yeah, defo.
Yeah, I've run yellow tinted at night, and I've put my night vision down, and it's just gone. Yeah, no, this isn't working for you at all.
Yeah.
And you've kind of gone. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, I probably should change my glasses over. Oh, that's an interesting colour scheme for the night.
One thing I did enjoy was the I'll tell you what, something I wasn't expecting was the village setup that Terry and SEO brought along with them. I thought that was impressive, because they had these sort of big camouflage style.
It's basically the briefing tents that he uses at his other events as well, for like doing like the Blue 4 briefings and that, like the pre-strike briefings and pre-op briefings and stuff. So they're always good. They're quality bits of kit that he brought along and that, and obviously so yeah, it just added to it, didn't it, really? When you sort of cut into a village and you've got sort of corners to check and stuff like that, so that's always good. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, that's
awesome. And using your thermal was quite good as well. So sitting there on stag, hearing, basically we're in a tree full of fucking oak trees, so acorns are just dropping almost constantly, which obviously sound like people walking. So, you know, whilst I was on stag duty, just constantly scanning the forest and seeing deer strut past in the old thermal was quite cool. I definitely felt the old heart going at one point, because I was like just scanning around, and all of a sudden there's this great white blob. I was like, ah!
Yeah, shit, where did you come from? But I mean, it's quite good, because obviously on the Friday or Thursday, you had the Forestry Commission guy up there who was flailing the verges of the main road, so it's actually tidied it up a bit, which made the sort of like patrolling of a night time a lot better, because the actual paths are probably, like the main roads, Andy, they're like 3 times as wide now. You could get like trucks going past each other, so they've actually widened them out, like the main perimeter road and that. So it's actually really cool to like sort of be able to spread out as a team when you're in staggered file or whatever you're doing, or extended line across a road into like a wood block. You had more space to do that now, so that was cool. Yeah, I like that.
That I think that would have made a massive gameplay difference as well, wouldn't it? Because the last time we were there, when we were doing the photo shoot, it was tight, wasn't it? It was
jungle, wasn't it? Really, pretty much. You had ferns above our heads for that one. So that they were still there. You had a lot of greenery still there for the time of year. It dropped off a little bit, but there was still ample cover. I mean, even into the winter months, you'll still get ample cover. It's so thick over there. It'll take months for it to rot down. And by the time that's happened, the new stuff's coming up again. So, which is always good. Always good. Evening, Ed. Hello, Ed. Welcome along, mate.
Dan says, was this event at an airsoft site or a private land?
This is a private land, mate. Privately owned land, with obviously permission from the landowner for us to use it, because he's a very, very nice chap and a good friend of mine.
Yeah, we don't just rock up to someone's back garden.
Yeah.
Well, we are, but
Don't just start playing the old squatters' rights.
It's mine now.
Mine now.
Mine.
Mine.
Nick says, what about yellow lenses? Would they be better for at night? So I think, to be fair, I say the Tiger Eye ones are like an orange lens. I don't have them to hand. But, you know, they are effectively a yellow. They're just slightly more orange. So I would just suggest clear lenses at night myself.
Yeah,
in a few little sneaky positions where I was quite safe and sort of looking away from the game zone, I did take the iPro off once or twice just to sort of see what the difference was, and it was definitely the iPro having an effect. I know what I say, my night vision is not the best anyway. I generally have poor night vision, but the iPro was definitely lowering it by like another 60%. From what I could actually see. So when I had the iPro on following everyone around, unless there was a torch going, I couldn't see anything at all. And having to hold Wayne, you know, that was obviously then crippling 2 members of the team. Especially with me falling over and hitting stuff. It wasn't very stealthy. So.
I've ran yellow at night, and it's not. You do.
No, you
for
got
the yellow yellow to work. You need. So it would work if it was like a reasonably open canopy with a full moon shining through, because you're getting a bit of light, but it definitely works if you've got a pitch black like it is at this site. Once that sun goes down, it gets dark in there, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that yellow just doesn't work.
Even like during the summer nights, as soon as the sun starts setting and you get inside of you get under the canopy, it's like you could be standing out on a pathway that's completely lit up, like it's almost like daytime, but then you look into the woodland, it's just like it's just black as night in there. As soon as you walk in, you're like, oh shit.
But there's places like that in daytime as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Down there, like you're walking along.
I don't mind it in the day. I can see in the day. I think that was the thing I was also conscious of, was the fact that, you know, if I'm standing there in an area I could see, because we had quite a high mood. I think it was 70% in the briefing, which again was another good thing. I did like Terry's briefing. I don't want to sound really critical. It just say it was like
Terry knows you're a tosser, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's right. It was a very on par MilSim, I would say. That was, you know, you book an event, that's what I would expect to find.
It's all right, Terry. I'll come to the next one.
No, I'll come to the next one. But I was conscious, if you're standing in an area where I can see, and I've got the yellow iPro on, the orange iPro, I was conscious of the fact that other people could see me more. So that was again just something I guess I was worried about. But
it's one of them, and it's just into your night vision, isn't it? Like your natural night vision. You know, it's when before you're going out on your night patrol, it's literally getting ready as dark as you can, and then sort of giving yourself that 10-15 minutes for your eyes to adjust. I mean, I did it several times at the Defiant event that we'll cover sort of next week. Was, you know, going up on a patrol at night time, just taking that 5 minutes of just everyone just sort of taking a knee, getting used to it, moving off again, then stopping, you know, adjusting, and then you'll find naturally that I was quite comfortable tracking through the woodland there at APOC without sort of many issues at all, really. But the trouble I've got is obviously it's using my left eye as a natural night vision, because my right eye's down the thermal, so that's just useless at night time. Because I'm bringing up to bear, looking down the scope, so that's now completely out of the picture. So I've got to always maintain natural night vision with my left eye, which is easier said than done, but it works most of the time. Sometimes I've got to focus. Right.
Terry says, Mike, that's one thing I took away from the weekend. I need something to see at night apart from the Mark 1 eyeball. Yeah, I mean, night vision and thermal is just such a game changer anyway.
But then again, if you're running night vision, it gives you a bit of awareness what's in front of you, but it's still not going to stop you putting your foot down a rabbit hole, because you've got to.
But at least you've got more of a chance, I think. Whereas I actually went down to my knee in a rabbit hole during the day, and I'm not kidding. I thought I was going to break my leg, because I properly just kept going, and I've never had that before, and that was a genuine scary moment, and I think that put the wind up me for the evening, because I'd already kind of potentially nearly fucked my leg up during the day. I didn't then want to kind of run the risk of doing it in the evening, when I definitely couldn't see. So at least with, you know, I have used night vision before, if but trying somebody else's, and it does, you know, obviously you get the magnification. It's not quite ideal from a perspective point of view, but it does give you that aid in terms of, right, I can see there's a log coming. Whereas the only way I knew that there was something coming was somebody go, "You're about to trip over a log." So
if they're nice to you.
yeah.
Oh, did you fall over, Mike? Sorry.
I think Terry might have taken a naughty tumble as well over a felled tree that was underneath some brambles that he didn't see. But I don't think anyone would have seen that, even with nods on. It was just completely camouflaged. It was like, "What?" It was like, "Man down." He's back up.
And that's just part of playing in the woods at night, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the risks you run, isn't it? You know,
Especially those woods.
Yeah, because obviously
Like
you've
those.
got nice clear trails and pathways, but as soon as you do get them off the beaten track, because it's not used as an airsoft site, which is what I love about it, it's completely natural. You know, you are moving through a natural woodland. It's not like Pallet City, or you've got sort of like all handy little pathways that have been made through hundreds of skirmishers been running about all weekend in there. It is the only trails you've got through woodland are the game trails that the deer have made, which in themselves were handy at the summer event when they handy, because obviously where they trodden all the leaf litter down, it was almost like at night you could just see this pathway glowing through the tree, and I was like, "Oh, that's handy, Mr. Deer. Thanks for that."
But you had literally only had about that much?
Yeah, that was it. You were single file, as you would do, but it did help, because obviously in the summer it was just like crunch. It was like walking on crisps.
Oh yeah, there was no sneaky
bloody
movement.
crunch. A lot of time we did. To cover distance quickly, we did use the main roads, and just sort of ducked in as and when we needed to. But even that still worked. You know what I mean? Even like Terry said, he's like the night game was just spot on 100%. Same with this one. Although people struggled, we still managed to cut about quietly. You just take your time. Methodical. Take your time with it. That's all you can do. But good fun. Good fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to the next one.
Yeah, 100%.
Pissed off that I can do this time.
I'll still go to the next one. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, you might not get
thanks.
invited now.
Did you want to do some Room 101? I thought this week it's sort of because it's episode 101. It's a prime opportunity to have a little bit of a fun game. So I thought we would.
This segment is courtesy of Mother Fraser, isn't it?
It is. My mum came up with this idea.
Shout out to Mother Fraser, love her.
I was talking to her that we got episode 101, and she was like, "Oh, you could do this." So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go around in a little circle, and we're going to pick three things one at a time, or a triangle. Pick three things one at a time about that we would throw into Room 101. So for anyone that hasn't seen the TV show, the premise is that it's this theoretical room that you can just lob stuff into, and you never have to worry about it again because we're just going to get rid of it. So, who wants to start?
I think you should.
I'll start. Right, so the one thing that I would like to get rid of, and this is in MilSim and Airsoft, are pallets. I fucking hate. I really like. I get that we need barriers in games and like buildings and stuff like that, but I just get a bit bored with seeing the same old kind of rudimentary thrown up structures with a few pallets. And like some bushes maybe leaning against stuff. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I can name some really, really good sites. So Apocalypse, for example, has got the stockade. So a lot of time and effort went into that. I know they're rejigging it at the moment. I don't know what it's going to look like in the future.
And the village has as well, actually, to be fair.
The village, that's another one. So some of those buildings are made out of pallets, but they've got like proper roofs on. They've done with tarps and bits and pieces like that. So the buildings are effectively waterproof.
Yeah, it's quite shanty towny sort of thing. With what John and the guys have done up there, actually, I was quite impressed. Because we was there last weekend, the weekend before, and it's good to see. It's good to see.
Where was the site? Ultimate War Games. We did the Octo event with Shane.
Ah, yes, near Brands.
So there was some really good. The village there, they put like some really good structures in, so it's not just like a few pallets up.
Do you remember, Mike, when we was there? I think the guy who was doing a lot of the building work for Shane is actually ex-Marines, and he was on site working whilst this fucking MilSim was going on. He just had a pair of safety specs on.
Yeah, put some iPro on, job done.
just sort of like with a disc saw, just go, just cutting through some timbers and that, and putting them up. I was like, "Hello, mate."
Yeah. See, I don't have a problem of pallet fortifications and stuff like that. I just find them a bit overkill. Like, to me, I mean, I get that, a lot of sites, they have to build what is called temporary structures. You can't obviously put a load of breeze block and proper brick walls and stuff like that up because it needs planning permission and it's a nightmare. But just there's other.
Don't put a roof on it.
Maybe dress it up a little bit, perhaps. If it wasn't,
Yeah,
just like
I just think
Pallet
that
City or
there's
something.
sometimes it just feels. I mean, there's a certain site in Kent that I'm not going to name, but it's almost like MDF City. It's like playing in what you would imagine Wix to be if you were to build an airsoft site there.
I'd love to play in Wix.
Wix World.
I'd love to play.
To be fair, all the kitchen departments and stuff like that, I think that'd be a wicked CQB site. But
Yeah.
it's, you know, those sort of flexible timber walls and everything's like a little bit rickety and stuff like that. I just like a nice proper solid structure if you're going to play around like that. And that's something that personally I would like to get rid of.
Yeah.
Tyre walls. Ed said tyre walls. Tyre walls are fine if they're used in context. If you're making a wall, that's fine. If you're trying to like dress it up as a building.
But even still, then, you know, it's a bit random. And I suppose if you've got like a few scrapped cars in an area or something like that, then a tyre wall would be sort of, I could see there being some tyres here. But then if it's just like a random load of tyres in the middle of a wood, you're like, I don't know. You know, I think you know, sandbags, you can't go wrong with them. They're cheap as chips. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It doesn't take a great deal to fill them up. Sandbags, stuff like that.
You know those
Bit of camo netting.
Hessian blocks as well that they use.
Hesco barrier.
I think,
Yeah.
I think Imperium used some of those as well.
Yeah.
Making stuff out of that because that looks cool, and that's different.
Well,
it's actual
used thing, isn't it? No, I've seen one site, and I can't remember where it was now. But what they did is they made some. It was almost like pallets. You know, they used pallets, but they were disguised. So they built the initial structure with pallet. So you're looking at it as like a 3-4 meter high wall made out of pallet. But then what they did do is they got these huge, you know, like underlay membrane that you drove for laying the weeds and stuff. Yeah. You can get that, but in Hessian. So what they've done is they rolled that up and over, stapled it all down, secured it, and you almost got the sand effect big compound wall like you'd see in Afghan documentaries and stuff. So you actually created a huge browned compound wall which didn't look like pallets and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? That obviously BBs couldn't go through because they had the Hessian there. I think they might have put some green netting over first, like the safe zone netting, and then the brown Hessian roll. I mean, I'm guessing that's not overly expensive to get, but and that looked really cool because it think, Christ, there's an actual you know, you're looking up and thinking, bloody Nora, look at this.
Yeah.
But yeah, things like that, dress it up, disguise it.
Yeah, Redcon 2, they've used the Hesco barriers and made a whole CQB area out of them. It's like 3 high, can't even see over it. There's no way that you'll see over that. No, it looks brilliant. Took 10 minutes to set
it's similarly as well. It's you know obviously the barriers that we form them when we make a fob or a little camp or something like that, where you get the logs, you pile them up into sort of like a log wall, and you throw bushes and stuff against them. A lot of sites, I get why, because obviously it's stuff they've got on site, but woodland sites, it tends to be vast swathes of fortifications just across the game zone that look like that. And I just find it takes me out of the immersive a little bit. It's just like, I'm just surrounded by piles of logs.
Yeah, I get that. You know, it needs to be areas that's just left and not touched, and then there needs to be sort of like population areas, if you like, where you've got a few bits and bobs going on.
It ends up looking like a paintball site otherwise, doesn't it? Yeah.
You can just look for miles, and all you can see is like 2-foot high barricades and stuff, all different angles. There's no real reason or rhyme from being there. Why are these there? You know. Yeah. But then you've got to cater to the masses as well. So that's the trouble with sites. Have got to weigh up. They've got to cater to the masses, and then obviously you've got weekenders and things like that going on. So
Mark's put a new meme on the NoFo community chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Who got done this time? Was it me, you, or
me?
Brilliant.
Right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Go then. We might not have time for 3 each.
Three each. Is that how many you wanted to do?
Is drum mags and M4s. They can go into a room 101 or the vault 101, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Drum mags and M4s. Drum mags in general, really, because I think they look pretty wanky.
Unless it's on it's on a purpose.
Unless it's on like a PPSH or something like that, and that looks ultra awesome. But
when you say drum mag, do you mean like the proper
the high capacity drum magazine, like
the rounded one,
rounded mag? Yeah,
So like if you've got a high cap mag,
which is a drum, which enables you to have 2,800 rounds going through an M4, then you can.
What about the double drum? What about the double booby?
Double booby drum mag,
whatever put on a M4.
Drum mags only support on support weapons. Absolutely, mate. Even still, you know, I just.
Yeah, I
mags
agree with you on
on
that one.
M4s in Wix World. Maybe we should make a site of all the things that we hate. Pallets, drum mags on M4s. Yeah, that'd be one for me. It's just frustrating as buggery, and it's part of what. That's why I don't go to skirmish days, because you'd go out with like 6 to 8 mid caps, and then you go up against someone who's got 2 drum mags for an M4, and you just think, well, what's the point? I might as well just sit behind the barrier for, don't know, give it 20 minutes, and you might have run out of ammo by then.
Or get bored and walk off.
Or your battery will run out, one of the two.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I brought 5 batteries as well.
That's it, yeah. I've got a Bergen full of drum mags and batteries, baby. I'm good for days. But yeah, that'd be for me. Drum mags and M4s. Yeah, absolutely shit.
I agree with you. The only, to be fair, I've used drum mags in an M4, but it tends to be not. No, hang on, let me finish.
No, I won't.
It
Hang
tends,
on. No.
it tends not to be for MilSim events. So it tends
But
to
yeah,
be
but you're
like
the reason I don't skirmish.
No, but this is the battle sims and stuff like that. Like the less MilSim-y. Ed says we should do an episode called Wix World. There's so much to cover. I want to do a Wix episode. We've basically got a budget, little budget. We have to just buy stuff off Wix, but we'll have to do it in 6 months' time.
Why do we have to buy things? Why can't we just talk about it?
No, because it's good to like play with them.
I'm not going to bring a sheet of plasterboard into the loft. That's what I got.
Oh, right,
What
No,
is
not
it,
from. No,
Crush it up and pretend it's cocaine for an
I've got this confused. I meant Wish, not Wix.
Oh, no, you
No,
said Wix earlier.
World.
I know. I meant Wish.
I'd love to play at Wix World. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, we'll all pitch in. We'll all buy a Wix, and we'll
We'll all
just
buy a
like
Wix,
deck it out
yeah.
as a Wix.
I don't know. They're too expensive at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
Harry, can I have an M4? Yes, absolutely, Harry. If it's like the ones from Aliens, mate, I will allow that. Because I'd just like to see that. That would be very cool. But are they M4s in that? I only watched it the other day. Yeah, they are. They're not overly big. They do look a bit like Barrett 50 though.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
if you
thought
dress
they
an
were based
M4
off
up to look like a Barrett 50-ish, big flash hider at the front, and then bang a drum mag on it. Yeah, maybe. Space Games.
Come on, then, Andy. What are you throwing into
Space
room
Wars.
101?
What am I throwing into 101? I am throwing into 101 kit that is on you that you're never going to use. So things like, I know some people use them, but 90% of the people don't. The full set £500 Garmins they have sitting on there. You're in an airsoft site where you can see the other side of the field. Why are you running?
Oh,
around
what
with
you mean,
500
like the GPS?
Yeah. Right,
Guys,
fair enough.
I've programmed myself in. We're going.
Yeah.
I do have one of them.
But-
it stays in the loft.
Yeah, but like, I'm not saying that not everyone doesn't use it, but it's the people that it's like I used to never use until I started like really getting into the MilSims. I used to had a lanyard, like a personal belt lanyard. But since starting doing MilSims, I've actually used them to stop myself falling out the back of trucks and vehicles and stuff. But before that, I was running around with it on my belt for no reason
Oh, is that
whatsoever.
for, yeah. Clipping on for your helo.
Yeah, for the helo
like that,
inserts.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're quite
I'm
good
gonna
when you're
do that.
boshing around on the back of a vehicle. I actually keep it on there now. Like I took it off, but there's
you'll have
things...
to keep it on there now, so Mike can clip on at night time.
Yeah. But then, yeah, just put him around. And I've seen guys running around with like proper wire cutters in their kit, like
Yeah.
proper
I've seen
metal
them
wire
used.
cutters.
I've seen them used, and a sledgehammer. I've seen them
Yeah,
used.
but that was at one event. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're running like fair enough. Yeah, it's good for your fitness and you look Gucci as fuck. But is it really needed if you're just going to pop around and just?
I mean,
shoot
obviously,
plastic BBs at
if
people?
you're in an event where you're in like woodland and you've got a sledgehammer for knocking doors in, I can see that being a bit silly.
Or an event where you're not cutting wire fences and you've got bolt cutters. It seems a bit unnecessary.
On your thing, yeah, on your back, yeah.
Like something
That's a
that
fair
I've
one.
learned
I'm trying to
is-
think stuff I carry around that I don't ever use.
See, everything that I carry around with me now, I use.
Hmm.
Like, and especially on a MilSim event.
Yeah, I can't. I've sort of scaled my kit back, so I can't really think of anything that would
No.
be. Why the fuck have I got that? No, I can't. I have to go through all my kit now. I'm paranoid. I'm going to get pulled up or something. Someone's going to send a picture. See, this is fucking you. You don't use that.
No, but
All
do you know what? Do you know what I mean? The sort of the stuff that is completely pointless is I've still got them on my belt from the last sim that I did. I've got IR chem lights, like the snappable chem lights.
There's one thing I don't carry.
Hanging off the side of my belt. Well, I don't need them because I'm not going to use them.
Is the
Also, you don't know if they've already gone or not.
Yeah.
the training knife, the plastic, I never. Nah, fucking never knew.
Honestly, I've used mine.
Yeah, see, I've used mine.
Because I'm in the position I'm in, I usually say, "Kill him." You kill him. Wasn't me.
Yeah, see, I do take a little plastic knife around with me, or rubber knife, to get knife kills, because a lot of sites now say that you can't just run up and karate chop someone to get a knife kill.
Yeah, I used to go with the whole like hand around the neck, like shh.
Yeah.
Can't do that with COVID.
No,
Yeah.
well, you can now.
Yeah.
COVID's finished.
COVID friendly knife. You have to put your knife on a selfie stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair play, mate.
But yeah, that'd be my one. Pointless bits of kit that look cool, but you're just weighing you down.
Pointless bits of kit that look cool. Fair play. Got him, Mike. Round robin. Back to you, sir.
So, the next one I'd like to come up with is the use of single fire only. I don't have a problem with single fire only, but I think that there is a growing issue with people who kit their rifles up with such ridiculous hair triggers and the like, which makes that your single fire is basically full auto anyway. It's just literally how quickly you can do that.
Wet willy for knife kills.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Or a wedgie. If you can creep up on someone and give them a fucking wedgie. What up?
Especially for all that kit.
Hit. Oh, hit. I'm so hit. So bad.
Take that on your GPS.
Yeah. Oh dear. Sorry, mate. Yeah, go on.
No, that's fine. So yeah, it's the single fire that's almost as quickly as a full auto. I find to be a bit counterintuitive because the whole premise of single fire only is that obviously it allows you to pick your shots and bits and pieces like that. But I've seen multiple sites that are single fire only for anything that's not an LMG, where people come running into a room and they basically might as well be on full auto.
I mean,
which I find frustrating.
I'm in two minds about the whole bloody single fire full auto rule. I think if you're in dire straits, you should be able to whack your thingy round to full auto and have at it.
Yeah.
Personally.
But my personal opinion.
But I know people that take the piss.
Yeah. My
And
personal opinion
that's
is,
why a lot of events put it into place where it's only single shot unless you're an LMG, which I get.
Yeah.
I do because it's to control the idiots.
But I think if you're
But if
doing
you're
a MilSim,
sensible,
you should have the same rate of fire as a wheel weapon anyway. So why
you
would
should
you...
you should be able to. I mean, if you're like, for example, if you're going into, you're going to be single shot, double tapping or whatever you're doing. But if you're putting rounds down quickly, if you're in a contact or you get ambushed, you're going to flip, especially in woodland, you're going to be round at full auto, empty a mag, getting into cover, doing it again, and then sort of moving forward. You're not going to be. You're going to just. You're going to be like, right, of course, this has got to be. We've got to win this firefight, and this is how we're going to do it.
But then
Massive
you've
volume
got
of
to have
fire.
the rules. Then you've got to have the rules in place of, yeah, you can full auto, but you've got to have a realistic fire rate. So all the people that can
here's
do
the thing.
45 rounds a second.
Here's the thing. So an M4 carbine has a cycling rate of between 700 to 970 rounds per minute.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
But that is quite fast already. Because that's 10 rounds. That's more than that's 10, 15 rounds a second.
Yeah, but that's still less than 45.
Yeah, but that's realistic.
That's realistic. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind 10 rounds a second.
That's not, if you pulled the trigger on that, you'd hear each individual shot. It wouldn't go.
Yeah.
That's the annoying thing.
Yeah.
You're not.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know what was that.
Is it the AA-10 or whatever it was? What's the plane that was built around the gun?
Oh, the tank buster.
Yeah,
It's got has it got the Vulcan cannon on it, or has it got a Gatling
it's
gun?
it's basically a gun with wings, and the pilot's just sitting on top of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does this carry? Ammunition and fuel, and that is it.
Pain, lots of pain.
Yeah, I mean, like Dan's just said there, I think if you've got a MOSFET that's capable of being programmed, you can program it to 3-round burst. I think you should be allowed to do that at least at a minimum of the 3-round burst on it. Because I can see people. Because if you get into a say you're in a 6-man team, 4 of your guys are down, and you're up against an LMG and another couple of guns, and you're trying to get back in. You need to be able to put that rate of fire down. And I know you can go pop, 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 and things like that, but you want to do a burst and then go. You want to fucking lever them for a little bit and be able to move. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can't do that, so it's taking away a trump, if you like. One of your top trumps is be able to go full auto. That's why you've got it.
See, that's one
but
thing.
But you can't use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one thing that I quite liked about RivSim a couple of weekends ago. They literally gave really strict ammo counts on what you could take out.
See, that's the thing. I mean, for all the offence of all those people that say things, you know, strict ammo rules, I've never in my life seen anyone get their ammo counted or checked.
No.
At any event, and that's across the board. That's all the events I've ever been to. Never once have I ever seen someone get their ammo checked. I've never had my ammo count checked or anything like that to say, oh, he's got 5 eye caps in his pack or anything like that. I've never. You know, I know it's on trust and this, that, and the other, but I'm sure it probably does go on. But yeah, I mean, that's what needs to happen. You're allowed full auto, but your mags will be checked, or your team lead, or it's the responsibility of your team leader to ensure that you've only got that many mags on you. Because if any of you get found with more than what you're supposed to have, then you'll be off the site, and also your team leader will be off the site for not doing his job. And I think that's fair. Because that does create a bullshit scenario for other people who have gone to the trouble of making sure they've only got 5 mid caps or 6 mid caps, whatever it might be, or 600 rounds for a rifleman spread out over. You can have 600 1-round mags if you wanted to, but that's all you can have. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And if that's not policed, then on that'll be down to the guy who's cocked up and his team leader for not checking it before you go out.
Talking about the rate of fire, so for an M4 carbine with a 30-round mag, if you're firing 900 rounds a second, that's 900 rounds a minute. That's 15 rounds a second. So you're going through a 30-round mag in 2 seconds, and then you have to reload. I think that's the big difference, is the fact that if you're going full auto with an airsoft gun, you're coming up against people that do have the high cap magazines in there, or they've got 120 round mag, which means they're able to sustain that for longer. But I want to just highlight Rage and Terry have been kind of talking about the same thing. The real world, you only have the ammo you can carry. You aren't cutting around with 3,000 rounds on you.
This is it, exactly. The LMG mags are completely unrealistic. 2,300 round box mags. You'd have a 200-300 round belt on it at most. You'll be running in your LMG what most guys run in their mid caps. In some cases, mine only held 90 rounds in my mid caps, but it's still 90 rounds. In the real world, that's 3 magazines. Give or take a couple of rounds if you don't want the spring to get snagged up.
But then again, if you're doing a strict ammo count, if you've got a box mag with 3,000 rounds in it, that's your ammo for the weekend.
And then some.
I've done
a month, I'd have thought.
I've done one of those events where it's literally gone. They've gone, right, you fill up your box mag here, that's your ammo. Like, don't go out and... That's it.
But maybe that's what it needs to be. Maybe that's what it needs to be, is that, riflemen do have 30-round mags. LMGs do have 300-round mags. It'd be worth a try. Might be worth a try. Yeah. I'd certainly be up for it, because you'd see how different, and it'll bring round counting into it. You have to be remembering, before you go, if you had to went from a firefight in the woodland into a compound area, right, change your mag, how many rounds have I got left in there? I think it would make it exciting. Carry a bandolier of, let's say, for a rifleman, 200 or 300 rounds extra on a bandolier or something like that, or a speed loader, bandolier, speed loader in your pack, so you can bomb your mags back up. Extra link for the LMG spread throughout the section, for the immersion side of it. Which I think that's cool.
That's why I quite like the idea. I mean, we've talked about this before, but an event where in the same way you've got your water rationing, your ammo effectively arrives in little sachets as well. So if you need to reload, potentially you have to go and find an ammo cache, or call in support. So your ammo is basically delivered to you in sachets of, say, 100 rounds. So you're bombing up, but you're not bombing up from a bag of 5,000 BBs that you've got in a speed loader that you're then topping up your magazine, so you're not counting those out. So when you're sitting there, even as an LMG gunner, as you're sitting there and you're slowly pouring that bag out, you are making sure every round goes in that LMG. You know,
I mean, it'd be good if you could get
I missed. Oh, BBs everywhere.
Well, you could still have the LMG box mag itself. I mean, obviously, no one wants any battle rattle and chink, chink, chink. But if you could have like an insert which goes into your drum mag, which reduces the capacity down, so that do you know what I mean, like a foam insert which sort of goes in there and it like almost so it's made to the shape like this is now minus off like 1,800 rounds from a 2,300 round box mag. So you can only get you can only get 500 rounds in there now or whatever it might be. Do you know what I mean? Something that just sort of takes up the volume like a foam brick or a foam block. And obviously, if you have got a couple of 500 rounds perhaps in there or something like that, it's going to be a lot. You're going to be a lot more conserving of your ammo than when you've got if you've got 2,500 rounds in there. You know what I mean? You haven't got that extra 2,000 rounds on you.
Yeah, because my PTS, my PTS mags that I have for my TM, there's only 43 rounds in them because they've got a little switch that makes them into low caps.
See, I think mine don't do that, but I think
64 or something like that.
I think if I do 3 turns on my speed loader, I think that puts in about between 30 and 40 rounds into a mag, which I'd be happy with that. Do you know what I mean? Give or take, you know. And then I think the plunger one, like the little 9mm mag size one, I'm trying to remember what that is now. And that's 3, and I think that's 5. 5 squirts does about 30 rounds ish, give or take. And it's easy to guess. Do you know what I mean? It's easy to and easy to police as well. I think everyone's bombing their mags up in your section. You'll know if someone's taking the piss every day, going trying to get the very last BB into it from the speed loader. You think, well, that's clearly 120 rounds plus. Do you know what I mean? So
Ed says, yeah, I never use a drum mag. Maybe I should stop carrying it around just to annoy Lance.
Yeah.
You can never annoy me, mate. You know that.
Rage says people use a photo of some SF guy wearing something so they want them in their kit. It's like those cool GBRS Hydra mounts that are becoming the new thing. Navy SEALs made them, so they must be cool.
Absolutely. Get it done.
Fresh Meat says, I don't use nades anymore, so stopped carrying them around.
Again, yeah. That could be it for the 101 route.
Nick says, how many have a functional first aid kit in their medic pouch and actually know how to use it?
No. I can put a plaster onto someone's boo-boo.
Boo.
Dan says full auto could be okay if you had very strict ammo rules, so you'd have to be mindful of firing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Dan. That's it, mate. That's what we want to
John
achieve.
Smith
really.
said it'll be fun to see and to happen as people would be more careful on what they're shooting and using the ammo. But Ed has an interesting counterpoint that in real world, the round is actually going to go where you're aiming and travel way further. So maybe in Airsoft we allow accuracy by volume to compensate for this.
Yeah, but do we really, Ed? There's a line between acquiring a target with 2 or 3 rounds to get you on point to what normally happens. We
but also as well,
it's bollocks.
Yeah, but also as well to get your accuracy, it means that you have to get a bit closer. Which means that you're.
Let's be honest. Let's say
I've just thought of my other thing. Yeah, sorry, Carol.
40 meters apart. Yeah, your contact's 40 meters away. You fire one round, it's like 3 or 4 meters to the right, or whatever it might be. Bit of windage. It ain't going to take you long to get on target. It's 40 meters away. Do you know what I mean? It's not 400 yards. You're not going to require. So let's say you've got a 30 round mag. And normally you run 120 rounds in your mag. You're not going to use the volume of BBs you'd need to get on target is what I'd say you should be comfortably hitting a target in 2 or 3 BBs, even with a bit of wind. You shoot one round, it's like it's going that way a bit. Okay, I'll move a touch. Boom, there we go. I'm on target. Oh, I've gone a little bit too far. I'll come back. Third round, you should be on
see.
it.
As an LMG support gunner, I'll just walk it in, just like, there we go.
Well, there you go. Yeah, but you can. You should be doing strafing fire and leading targets and stuff like that, shouldn't you? But I mean, for a rifle, for a standard M4 or AK, whatever it is, you should be able. Well, one's right, a little bit left, bang in the middle. 3 rounds. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe. Yeah, go on. Sorry, we can talk about.
Let's move on because we've talked about this one and we've got 2 more to do before we've got.
Can I move on from that one? Yeah, binary triggers.
What is a binary trigger for those who don't know?
So a binary trigger is where you pull the trigger and it fires, and then when you let go, it fires.
What the fuck would you want that?
Yeah, it's shit. So you're literally
you have to run around with your trigger down just so you can let it go again.
So you're always firing 2 shots on a trigger pull. Absolutely pointless in airsoft, and also very unsafe. If you've got a man down situation and you actually need someone and they've lost their iPro or something, you've got to hold on to that trigger because there's no way of making your weapon safe. Binary triggers should be banned.
So hang on a minute. So you squeeze the trigger, fire.
So, yep. And then when you
let go of the trigger and it fires.
And it fires again.
Oh, so if you didn't touch the trigger at all, nothing would happen.
Nothing would happen.
But if you squeeze it, it fires, and then when you let go of it, it fires.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous. Why would you? So surely there's
it's the wankers
can
that
cause
do that
to malfunction and fire when the trigger's not depressed. There's the possibility there, or the hazard that can fire them without the trigger being depressed.
Could be. I think it's MOSFET controlled.
I thought it was the lever of the trigger has to go past the contacts.
That would be if I had run a site and I wouldn't. They'd be like, yeah, no, they're gone. If you've got a MOSFET, you could program that to be off. So that's just silly. Why would you do that?
Triggers.
You know, you might as well have a push button on the side of it.
Well, it's basically a dead man switch, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's just I'm dead now.
One more round before I go.
But yeah, it's for the guys that run the G&G straight trigger.
Oh, double fingers.
Speed softer, where they do that.
Oh, if it's speed softing, yeah, let them get on with it. I'm never going
to.
But
no, but they've started like I've seen people use them in M4s, AAP9s, is it?
AAP9, yeah.
Literally, they're starting to pop up more and more because it's a way round of getting around the single shot.
Oh, fuck that. No.
So
3 round
every
burst,
site,
I'd sooner someone
Can you set a 3-round burst up with the binary trigger?
Well,
no, on a MOSFET.
No, because you'd have to.
No, I'm just wondering if you could.
You can get 6 rounds out of it.
Yeah. There you go.
But you'd have to hold it and then let go. So you'd have to hold it for those 3 rounds to fire. Because if you just do it again, it's already firing. So I would say that it's only for single shot. But
yeah, get rid of them, man. I don't like them. I've never seen one. I don't even like the sound of it.
Yeah. But they're getting more and more popular.
We're all on board with that one, Andy.
Yay! Yeah, so if you run a binary, throw it in the bin. Because you're just not a nice person.
Go on then, Lance. What's yours?
Oh, hang on. Lance, what would you be your opinion on a lever action sniper rifle like a Western, but I'm wearing a ghillie? Well, if you was in a Western-styled airsoft
a Western ghillie.
Ghillie.
He has to dress as a tumbleweed and he has to run around the site like this.
I've seen those lever action add-ons. I sent the picture in the group chat. Do you not remember it? It was a sniper rifle.
A lever action add-on or a lever action like a Winchester.
Like a
John
Winchester.
Wayne. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool as fuck.
And it does the lever.
Thing. That is a thing. Yeah, love that. All day
I think it has to make that noise though.
Yeah,
it can't be. It can't be like a stealthy one. It has to go.
You normally do it. Make it as quiet as you can, so you can't hear that being reloaded, and put your little sash curtain up so you can't see your hand moving. I know you're going to. I've seen it. You've seen that? Have you seen it? Little curtain head's got.
Yeah.
And there's a little pokey up. Whoop, deploy curtain.
I wonder if I've still got that.
We got to see Ed wasn't unfortunately there on Saturday, but we got to see Ed set up over at Empire Airsoft, which was quite cool.
Yeah. His little hovel.
You tidy that up, mate.
Yeah.
Very disappointed I was.
There was a jumper there. There was a jumper on the table. I was genuinely like, oh, it's Silly Gilly's jumper.
Yeah, me and Andy went out the front to get some more, come back in and watch just like that.
That's some good Gilly.
Oh, silly Gilly.
Right, come on, Lance. What's yours?
I'll tell you what, mine is a habit that people have got that seem to think that after they've tested their weapons and they've chronoed it and they think it's great and brilliant, it's all working, as soon as they walk out of the fob and they're starting out on the patrol, they'll go, yep, it's all good. I'll ban that, because that fucking really pisses me off. You're moving out and then someone going, you know, that's why low cap mags are such a great idea, because it will stop knob ends doing that. Walking down, spending the first 10 minutes of patrol just shooting at a leaf or a tree, and look, there's a puddle. There's a puddle.
Yeah. Or something metal, some sort of thing metal on the wall. Yeah.
Just like no, that's I'll get rid of that habit. That would be negligent discharges. That's what we call them.
Especially, there's nothing worse than when you're standing on stag duty as well, and then someone's just like firing off into the distance. Like, what are you doing? Have you got eyes on? No, just testing.
Yeah,
Make sure
you've been testing it all day.
Still got bullets in it and BBs in it. Thank you, kind regard. Bye.
Well, I don't mind if you're, say for example, a sniper or DMR, and you tell everyone, and you're getting your range set, so you know where your target's going to be. Right, that tree's going to be there. Like in theory, you should know that already if that's your primary weapon.
That's normal rental at the start of the game. No, mate, I've seen that on MilSims
Yeah,
as well.
MilSims, they do it.
Yeah, there is
a lot.
Horsing around. People will do
I'll tell you what, actually.
And sometimes they don't even need to be near the weapon, do they?
No, yeah, if you've got one of them magic TM LMGs, it just does it itself whenever it feels like it.
I'm just checking that I've got ammunition.
A little bit of moisture.
I'll tell you what. The best time we talk about limited ammo. The best time I've seen that is at a paintball game. I know this is an airsoft podcast. We're not talking about paintball, but if you ever go paintballing, like the number of people that have just forked out like £100 for like 5 paintballs or whatever it is, and they literally come out and they're just like in the little target range just outside where you pick the rifle up, and they're just like blapping away at targets, like going. Yeah, and all you're hearing is just ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. As all the it's just bonkers, absolutely bonkers.
To be fair though, the sniper rounds are like that now though.
Mm.
Every time I see a sniper fire, I see a little tear as well. Shit, that's a pound gone.
See, that's what the bolt action is. The bolt action's not there to reload the gun. It's just a subtle way of just wiping the tears.
Yeah. What sniper should have is when every time they cock the rifle, it should be the sound of a till tray opening.
That'll probably pop up in Ed's next video.
Cashier number two, please.
One that I did think about after we kind of got halfway through was people who shoot out of range as well. Like you're in a nice defensive position. You've got the enemies walking towards you. Their target is to advance on your position, and people are just blapping way off in the distance. You've got no chance of potentially hitting them. All you're doing is just A, letting them know where you are, B, using up your ammo, and I can't think of a C, but yeah, it's just annoying.
C, it upsets Mike.
It does upset me. I actually funnily enough, I pulled a couple people up on it at the SEO event, because in our base, it was very annoying. I was like, let them come towards us, and then we can shoot them.
The one I hate is when you sat there and you've sat there for 15 minutes in a perfect ambush position, and everyone knows that you are there to ambush them. As soon as that first person gets onto the very edge of your ambush, one person at the other end fires, and you're like, I've been lying in this pissing wet bush for 15-20 minutes.
I'm laying in poo.
All for this, and you fucked it up.
Any rebel says biscuits brown prevent negligent discharges. My man, God love him.
Well, we are looking for a motto.
Discharges. Sounds good. That could be in there. That could be in for a chance.
Ed says 0.48's a 3p. A paintball is 20p.
Yeah, but usually you're pissed up from a stag do on paintballing, aren't you? So you don't really give a shit.
Dan also says that's the sound when you're firing your tag rounds and no one takes the hit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, what's the sound? Well, the sound of that one is...
Or mortars where you...
Firing the tag round and then no one taking the hit, or firing the tag round and it not going off.
Yeah. The worst one's the mortars
and
where
it
you
an
drop
absolute peach.
You drop it and you see it fly perfectly, and then there's a gust of wind and it goes, nope.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck!
Well, you get really excited. You get really excited. Yeah, they're about eight quid a round. You fire the mortar round, it basically goes straight up, hits the tree in front of you, and goes backwards. You're like,
bastard.
Adjust.
Yeah, but the tag round not going off, that must be frustrating as hell, because you're just like sitting there in your fob, like having 5 minutes, and then like the guy can see you, and he shoots his tag round, and it just goes on the floor next to you, and you're like. Just call EOD in to get rid of the unexploded munitions next to my chair.
Les says room 101 for me is people that key in their PTT.
Why haven't you all got Diet Coke lids on your PTT?
Hot micing.
Yet?
So frustrating.
Yeah. No good.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That is really annoying. And the trouble is, you can't even bloody tell them.
Yeah,
no, we found a way.
No,
we found a way. You get everyone to clap. So if you can find out who's hot micing, if you can get everyone to clap in one instant, you can find out. Well, not all at the same time because that was everyone's clapping, but
like a tactical clap for night.
Yeah, just a little.
So everyone's standing there like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it solves the issue, that'll be grand.
Yeah. Just shoot the fucker.
A little M8 hole I drilled for a fizzy drinks bottle lid, and I just gorilla glued it onto my PTT, and it stops me depressing the.
I think JCI Comms actually do like a nice little 3D printed one as well.
Yeah, I just did one.
I've actually got
so I thought I'd just use a plastic lid.
I think Andy's frozen. Oh, there you go.
It was like that. Ooh. Boobies.
No, I
it's
said
always boobies, isn't it? It was
boobies.
boobies.
I love boobies.
Right. I'm conscious of the time. Do you want to quickly do a from the vault?
Oh yes, that's me.
Yes, you've got it.
And I've got
from the vault.
You done? You ready?
Yeah, comment.
I just like the way you
Such
cut
a
him off.
seamless transition.
You just went, doof, shut up, Lance.
I was told about this by Mr. Terry Gillett, and it's an individual protection kit, which is like an emergency survival shelter type thing. It wasn't opened, but because I'm a nosy bastard and I couldn't not unopen it, so I've just opened it at the top. And what you get is like a big tarp. You get a load of like stuff. I don't really want to open it too much because this is like well preserved. It's an old bit of kit. But if you look up an individual British Army individual protection kit, it basically allows you to create a like covered shelter. I don't know if you can see them images there too well, but that's what you end up with at the bottom. So yeah, look them up. And it's a bit of kit that I'm never ever going to use, but it's a single kit installation instructions for trenches up to 0.6 meters in width. 2 men should act as a team to build the shelter. Tear off the outer bag, tear off the end of the inner bag, and remove the anchorage assembly from the roll of material. 3 pickets, blah 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 blah. Tension the cord. Drive all pickets into the ground. I'm guessing they mean tent pegs, pickets. And it basically makes you a survival shelter, 2-man survival shelter. There it is.
Cool.
If I get my phone, there's a bit of scale. There you go, British Army individual protection kit. Basically makes you a little
it's just
basher.
a basher.
Essentially, mate, a little basher. But I've not opened it, so I've not. I do want to open it, but I don't because it's not been touched. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things. But I've got one. Stinks of petrol.
So is it smaller than the basher? What's the size of it then? Like, is it
it's a
literally?
2-man. I'm guessing it's probably about the same sort of size. I'm guessing. I mean, it says it covers. It's for trenches up to 0.6 meters or 60 centimeters, 600 mil in width. So I'm guessing it's quite versatile.
272 centimeters by 146
It's
centimeters.
supposed to go over a trench. Yes, mate. Yeah, that's what it's on the old instructions. That's what it says. I don't know if it's got a date stamp on it. 1986. There we go. 1986. Still looks brand new in there. Obviously, still sealed up. Look lovely, beautiful, lovely.
What's the material like? Is it the same as a basher?
Like
do
you know
one of the modern ones, or is it?
It looks robust. I must admit, it does look robust. It looks more lightweight than a standard. I think it's pretty heavier than a standard basher. Because obviously they're a lot thinner now and a lot more silky. Do you know what I mean? They slither about. They're a bastard to roll up the new ones because they're just like whoa. But this one here, it's got like almost like a rip stop. I don't know if you can see that. That's terrible, isn't it? Can you see that? That sort of material there. Focus in. It's got like a stippled effect sort of thing on it. But yeah, that's mine from the vault. Something else I've bought and never ever used. But I don't I said, I don't really want to open it because it's like a nice old bit of kit. So yeah, that's mine from the vault. Individual protection kit.
Cool.
All right.
From the vault.
He's an absolute tosser.
Your mic's gone funny, Lance.
No, it's probably Mike cutting me off.
Oh.
I was mid talking. Is it back now? Hello.
I thought you'd finished.
No, well, just the music. I was like, right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We're still learning. I was getting excited with all these things
he's
that
not
we
used
can
to
just
it.
randomly bring in. Yeah. Right, we should probably get a call it a day. We're hitting hour 30 now, so I've all got things that we need to be doing. If you want to get in touch
Might
with
need
us,
the toilet, everybody.
He needs a wee wee.
I need a wee.
I told
you
you,
wanna get in
two
touch
need
with
to
us-
buy catheters. Just sit there. I've got a catheter in right now. I don't need to go. I'm fine. I can stay here and
If
talk
you want
to
to
you all
email the
night.
show, probably put a complaint about Andy's catheter, you can do so at nofochat@hotmail.com. Instagram is @November_Foxtrot_NoFo, and the website is novemberfoxtrot.co.uk. If anyone wants to leave us a review, by the way, we are still accepting those on our Facebook. I think you can also leave them on Apple Podcasts as well, so feel free to head over there.
I
give
might
us
read
a
some funny
review.
voices.
If it's a good
Yes.
review, then yeah, we may do some funny voices. The only other bit of news I just wanted to say is obviously congratulations to our winners on our 100th episode last
Yes.
week. We will be emailing out about the prizes this week. So some of the prizes are coming from the people who are donating the prize. Some of them are from us that we're sending out, and some of them are digital. So just check your emails. If you don't hear anything by the week after next, start shouting at me, and I'll chase up on that for you.
Yes.
But cool.
All
Anybody,
good.
anybody got any last minute thoughts they want to share?
Just thanks once again for everyone who donated to the RBLI raffle for the 100th show last week. You know, it does mean a lot.
Definitely.
You know, it's some good money raised there, which going to a great charity to help a lot of well-deserving people. So yeah, we just thank you very much for that, and obviously supporting us for 101 episodes now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Don't know how you poked up with us, if I'm brutally honest, but you have. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for that.
Well, I think I can speak for everyone that it's the good looks.
Absolutely.
Keep getting thrown about between Mike and Lance that has made everyone
Good looks.
the good looks. Yeah, like you've got baby face and he's got rugged bear man.
That got weird. Fresh meat,
Weird.
Fresh meat and Danny are going to be at frontline events this weekend. So yes, please definitely tell us how it went. That'll be
Yes.
excellent.
Yeah. Give some feedback on that,
We'll
chat.
be
Some
back.
photos. In
Yes,
your
We'll be back
period.
next week. We're going to be talking about Defiance Red Tide 2. We're also going to be talking about the Rift Sim. And we might throw some other exciting things in there if we
El Hatcher for the win.
have
Yeah,
time as
gotcha.
well. So, in the meantime, stay NoFo.
Ugh.
Stay NoFo. No, that's it.
It's
now.
become a
stayed.
thing.
It's now.
It's become a thing.
It's never going. That's it.
We'll see you all next week. 8
Ciao.
o'clock
Right.
on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao,
See you, Mike.
Bella.
See you later,
Bye.
Drum Max Fraser. Later.
Say goodbye,
John
everybody.
Fraser.
Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Drum
See
Max
ya.
Fraser. Drum Max, guys.